You don't have to cry no more. Jesus, He will wipe your tears away. How do I know? He wiped mine away. She sees her reflection and upon the tears. Daddy gone, did he even care? Now she's a baby grown up, running to the arms of many men again and again and the perfect union. It didn't work. She craved the attention, so she wore a short skirt. They said they love you, but they lust for you. Sex, the only time they call you. Wake up, sister, what you gonna do? Life is more than the whistles and the screams. Life is more than jocking fellas for the cream. The way a man thinks, what you're willing to show, you're willing to share. Listen, my dear, your dress from your toes to your hair. You're more than a body. What about your soul? The Lord is calling to make you whole. What about your soul? All I ever wanted was to know who I was. To love ever since comes from above. Take me there, Lord. Wipe your tears. All she ever wanted to be with love. All I ever wanted was to know.
Hey everybody, welcome to Married at First Sight. I'm LadyJ. We're going to do this review real quick and get it out the way. This was last week's show, last episode. And the song that you hear right now, this song is by Kevin Curry, and he said wipe your tears. Paige, I think Paige has wiped her tears, her hands, everything. Paige is done, I think, y'all. I don't know, because you know how Paige changes her mind. Paige goes back and forth. So we don't know if Paige is done or not. I think in the episode tonight that Paige and Chris are going to meet up. So, you know, we'll see. But anyway, let's get started because this ain't gonna be long. But anyway, because we know who the fools were in the no, not this week. This was good, y'all, because Chris tried to do the threesome and the threesome did not work. Boom. He just got everything thrown back in his face. So let's start off with this week. Actually it was last week's episode, and I try to do a review like the night of for the people that actually don't didn't get to watch the show. So I get you caught up and then you can watch it tonight. I think it comes on at 8:00, but I'm not sure, on Lifetime. But anyway, make sure you share the video also. Anyway, let's start with the couples. They had families, they're now at home. They're back in Atlanta, so everybody's back home, and they're able to get back into their normal lives, try to hey James Scott, try to have some sense of normalcy. That's what they're, working on right now. Y'all, I'm gonna share the video while I'm talking because y'all not sharing it. So let me share the video while I'm talking. So anyway, they're trying to have a sense of normalcy, and the families are showing up. Family and friends are showing up just to tell the couples, to give the couples an idea of who they actually are married to and to give them some advice. So let's start off with Clara and Ryan. Again, Ryan is a nice guy, but Ryan to me is very private. I think Ryan is very guarded. And, Ryan said he ain't giving up the cookies or nothing until he really finds out who Claire is. This is Ryan and Claire. Now, Claire, on the other hand, she made mention in the episode that she is sexually frustrated. She's frustrated. She really needs sex right now. That's what she wants. She needs Ryan's hands all over her. That's what she wants right now. And Ryan is saying no, which is so weird because normally the shoe is on the other foot on these shows where the couples, where the wife normally wants to wait. But Claire was like, look, I am ready to get it. And I'm ready to get it right now. Like Claire ain't playing. She want it now. So, sorry, y'all. Let me share it. Let me turn it down. So, Claire's like, look, I want to have sex right now, but he's not ready. So Claire made a comment in front of his friends. And Ryan, like I said, is very private. I don't know if Ryan's ready to share some of the things, but Claire's mouth is like this. He already told her to keep her mouth closed because you talk too much. But she's still talking. So she said to his friends, they were asking, how's it going? And she just said, I've never seen my husband with his shirt off. And, they kind of laughed it up. I don't know how Ryan felt about it because, like I said, Ryan is very private and he doesn't want, his information out there. But for the most part, what I will say about Ryan and Claire is that Ryan is he seems to be a good guy. He seems to be a really good guy. He was born and raised in Louisiana, and he just seems to be a very laid back guy. He's the opposite of her. She seems to be like she on 10 all the time. And so, but I think that I love what she's doing because she's actually trying to work with him. You know, she's looking at it like this is my husband. I'm trying to learn who he is and I'm going to work with him. So Clara and Ryan, good job. Kudos to you. And then we have Brianna and Vincent. Y'all know I love Brianna and Vincent. I think they are the cutest couple. With Vincent with his little cute self and Brianna, she's just cute and petite. And so you know, I love the fact that we the other episode, he was a little frustrated and he stormed out of the apartment and he said, you know, I'm going to go home because he really felt like Brianna was just bossy and always telling him what to do, and he didn't like it. So he was just like, look, you know, I'm just going home. So he was like a little boy. Come on, Vincent. He was like a little boy. Got his backpack, packed his backpack up and everything, and the producers are there looking at him. So he's packing up. He packed up his backpack, put it over his back, and there he was. He took off. But he said in this episode, when he got down to the garage, he said he thought about it and he was like, you know what? I have a family. I got a wife. I got a dog that I have to take care of. And he was like, no, I'm going to go back. And then she was frustrated because, again, like I told y'all last time, she did not know what she said to hurt his feelings. She was just like, what did I do to hurt your feelings? I don't understand. And so, you know, I love that I love communication. I think, you know, if I ever get into a relationship again, like I hope it's somebody that knows how to communicate and we can just sit down and talk without all of the hoopla and the yelling and screaming, you know, because they sat down, they had their conversation and it was nice. And she told him how she felt. Communication is key, everybody. I don't care if you've been married for 100 years, communication is key. You have to communicate. You have to say what's on your mind. And she did that. She told him that it hurt her when he said, I can go back home. And she said she was thinking when he went out the door, I thought this was home. And I was like, oh, Brianna. So, you know, they were able to talk it out. Then later on, her mom came. His mom doesn't speak English very well. And his brother was there, and there was another lady. I'm not sure if that was the brother's girlfriend or what, but they were all there. Brianna was a little nervous because she doesn't speak Spanish, so she wasn't sure if she would, how they would take her. But again, Brianna is Brianna. She has a beautiful personality. The mother loved her. They loved the food. Her mother was there. I thought her mother said a little bit too much, but you know, uh, we'll talk about that later. I don't want to talk about nobody's mom, but I just thought she said too much. Sometimes it's just good to be quiet. Like Ryan said, just be quiet. So anyway, they played a game, you know, how well do we know each other? How well do the parents know us? And the game went really well. They had a great time. I'm talking about this cute little couple here. Look at Vincent with his cute self and Brianna. Brianna, she's so cute and just so petite. And I just think they are a really great couple. And I really think that they're going to do well because they do communicate. Vincent is a little sensitive. So I think Brianna has to learn him a little more. And I do believe once she learns him, they're going to be fine. And so let's go to Haley and Jacob, because y'all know Jacob is stuck in the 80s and Jacob is 38, but he's actually like a Neanderthal. You know, he's probably about 190 right now. So Jacob and Haley, you know, they had some problems because Haley's only 28 and she didn't understand. Jacob is like an old soul, but he seems like a really nice guy. But he was starting to feel like as the wife, you know, she was just pulling away. She wasn't really, as I want to say, she didn't seem as comfortable or as friendly with him as she did when they first got together. And he said that it happened after they got married. Now, I wasn't there, so I don't know. But he said, after they had sex, I'm sorry. He said after they had sex, she just started pulling back. It didn't seem like she wanted to be around him. If he said something, it annoyed her. So they finally had a conversation, and basically, Haley was saying, look, you want me to jump into this marriage, you want me to jump into your arms and everything. I'm just not there yet. She said, I just don't feel a connection. It's look, dude, it ain't there yet. So he was a little hurt about it. But then when they met up with the friends, his friends spoke very highly of him. I'm talking about Haley and Jacob. Jacob's friends spoke very highly of him, that he's a great guy. He's an old soul, but he's committed. He doesn't like for you to lie to doesn't like when you lie to him. He's very loyal. And they really said some nice things about him. And he's stuck in his ways. And we already know that because all he talks about is the 80s. I don't even remember what happened in the 80s. I don't know. But and I don't know what was so great about it. And so Haley, her friends told Jacob, and this makes so much sense now, she has commitment issues. And her girlfriend said that whenever she gets into a relationship and things are looking good and they're starting to get a little close, she pulls back. And he said, you know what? That's exactly what's going on right now. And he was like, I get it now. I understand. I don't understand. I think that something must have happened in her life that has caused her. Maybe she was hurt or something. And so she probably, maybe she was deeply in love with somebody and got hurt. And so she's just really guarded and she doesn't want to fall fast, fall too deep too fast. So I get it. But for the most part, they made a pact, Haley and Jacob, that they're definitely going to work on their marriage. They're going to do better. She's going to try to be more committed to the marriage. She's going to try to understand him a little more. I'm just sharing the video, y'all. And so I think they might work, but she's going to have to do a lot of understanding. I don't think I could do it. It's a little bit too much for me. First of all, you got to drag him out of the 80s. And she's so lost. Like when he's talking about stuff, she's like, well, what's that? Because I wasn't really born at that time. So, it's just a lot of work that she's going to have to do. But she says she's committed to it. They got several more weeks, so we'll see. And then we have Eric and Virginia. We know that Virginia's 26. Eric is 34. Eric is a pilot. Eric is very settled in his career. He knows what he wants. He has a beautiful condo and he's doing really well. He has a dog. He's doing, very, very well, has a successful life, but he wanted to be married. So they're not really growing on me yet because I think that Eric has to stop trying to be her dad. When he's talking to her, I feel like he's just putting too much bass in it. Like take the bass out. You're doing too much because now she's your wife. And it's like he's talking to her like he's talking to his daughter. Wait a minute. No, she couldn't be his daughter. She could probably be his little sister though. But he's talking to her like, that's his daughter. And Virginia, I think sometimes she wants to say something, but then I feel like she's looking at him like it's her dad and she's afraid to speak up. It's just kind of weird, but then it seems like they connect anyway. Like they still connect. They seem like they really care for each other. Eric had a problem with Virginia's friends because, as we know, Virginia loves to drink. Virginia loves to party. Virginia loves to get drunk and pass out. And so she'll stay at her friend's house for however long. It's no big deal to her. She'll stay there until she's sober, which is the right thing to do. And a responsible thing to do, but now you're married, so you don't need to be doing all of that unless your husband is with you. But Virginia wants to go and hang out with her friends without Eric, and she wants to get drunk and pass out on the sofa and come back home the next day. And he's like, nope, you're not doing that. So they've been going back and forth with that. And then soon after they got home, Virginia was actually scheduled to be in a wedding, so she had to leave Eric and go to her friend's wedding because she's a bridesmaid in the wedding. And so Eric was thinking, maybe while we're apart, and she'll see what she's missing and she'll want to come back home because he really likes her. He really likes her and he wants it to work. So when she came back, she was excited, but she just, to me, she has this nervousness about her, like almost like she doesn't want to say or do the wrong thing. And the only thing that will soothe her is to get something to drink. And so I hope Eric has a lot of liquor in the house because he's going to need it, because that's her go-to. I don't think that she knows how to really have conversation because she gets real hyped when she's talking, and she just goes on and on. But I don't think that she really knows how to sit down and have that conversation with Eric. See, me, I would tell Eric, look, you're not my dad. I know you. I know you're a little bit older than me, but you're not my dad. Let's have an adult conversation, a husband and wife conversation. But I feel like you're kind of talking down to me. It's almost like I feel like your finger is going like this, and I don't like that. And I think that's the conversation that she needs to have with him because I think she gives him um, too much leeway. And after a while, that's not going to work. And she's just going to go out with her friends and get drunk and come home whenever, Eric. So just back up, dude. So anyway, she invited her friends over. Her friends came, and of course, they knew they felt some kind of way because she had told them about how Eric felt about their situation, and the guys were letting Eric know, like, look, we are just friends. We're just friends. There's nothing else going on. She's my girl. She's been my girl for a long time, but that's it. We drink, we have fun. She might stay over, and then we go home. So really there's nothing going on. And you could tell it's like I have male friends. Ain't nothing going on with me and the male friends. Some of them married, some of them not. But Eric's thing is you can't be married and have male friends. And I don't think that's true because it's up to everybody to control themselves. Now, if I'm in a situation where I feel like, especially if I'm married and it's out of, this other male is out of control and, he's doing stuff that he should not be doing, that's inappropriate, that's a problem. You don't just hang around that. But I really think they're just like little kids. They're just friends. They drink, they have fun, they party. So I think Eric is putting in there. Eric, what have you been doing that you just so you doing a lot too? Maybe you was out there doing something. I don't know. But anyway, from what I understand, they're still together. The show is over now. We're watching the show. We're watching the recorded shows, but this is already over, so I understand that they did stay together. So now, y'all know I beat up on Chris every day, and I can't wait to get home today. I cannot wait. So this is Paige and Chris. That's on a good day. That's on a good day. And then on the same day, this is them too. And so Paige and Chris, y'all, let me tell you something. Chris tried to set up this threesome conversation and it boomed right in his face. He got all in his face. Let me tell you something, Chris. Stop it, okay? I told you, stop it. So anyway, he had already told Paige, I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to do this no more. He told Pastor Cal in front of Paige because Pastor Cal met with them. He wanted a divorce. That's the only way that he could see was that at this point in time, they just need to get a divorce. And then Pastor Cal was so pissed off with him. Pastor Cal was like, I normally try to keep couples together, but he was like, you know what? I'm not asking y'all to stay together. Like, you want a divorce? Fine, get a divorce. So Pastor Cal, he was out of it. So we, of course, when Pastor Cal left, Chris whispered into Paige's ear and said something. And basically what he was saying is that he's been struggling with his feelings because he still feels like, there's something there. He could potentially fall in love with her. She's like, don't say that. How Paige is with that corny, knowing that she don't talk like that. Because we heard Paige for real, because Paige was cussing like I don't know what. She cussed them producers out. So this particular episode, Chris went his way. Chris got in the car, his suitcases, everything. He left and he went somewhere. I think he was still in Atlanta, but he said he was going to his girlfriend's house. Chris lied so much, we don't know where Chris went. He might have been here in Baltimore somewhere. So anyway, Paige went on up to her room, and then we see in this particular episode that Chris had called her, and Chris was telling her that he would like for her to come to a meeting place where they can sit down, him, Mercedes, his fiance, and Paige, they could sit down and have a conversation. Now I said, wait a minute, Chris. Now you really doing too much right now. You feeling yourself now. And here's the thing for me, because they've only been married, I think, is it 2 weeks or a little less than 2 weeks. I'm not going to meet your fiance for anything. You told me you wanted to get a divorce. We're done. What am I going to meet the fiance for? It's not like they've been married for years. So yeah, we need to sit down and talk about this, because we have developed feelings, relationships, and this is going to potentially impact our marriage. No, like, you don't even really know him. So Paige, I was beating up on Paige at first, but girl, Paige, you get a high five for real. You get a high five because, whoo, Paige was good. So Paige was like, I gotta think about it. I'm gonna let you know. So he said, oh, okay, whatever. So they met up. Mercedes is beautiful. She's a beautiful young lady. And so is Paige. But I see, Chris's taste would not be for Paige. I could see that. And plus Chris only loves Chris anyway. And so they met up, and Paige was just sitting there like, girl, I'm about to put it all out there. But Paige didn't say anything. She was cool. And Mercedes was sitting there smiling. Chris is sitting there. And see, Chris is a narcissist, and Chris, I think, is bipolar. I think just Chris has a lot of issues, and I believe that his parents let him get away with a lot of stuff that they should have checked him on. So as an adult, he just feels like he can do whatever he wants. He can say whatever he wants, and nobody can stop him. And I forgot this part. Chris met up with his pastor and the elder at the church, which is also Chris's friend, and they're all friends. And the pastor straight up told him, you're wrong. You are wrong. Because she didn't do anything. You're wrong. He was like, you have a kid. Like, the pastor was really getting up in his tail. Because like he told him, you are wrong for what you're doing. And then you're not even trying to work it out with this girl. You're ready to jump ship and run over there. So as the pastor's talking to him, as his friend is talking to him, Chris is looking at his watch. He doing stuff on his phone. And I said, this boy is so rude. He's just so rude. And the pastor's still talking to him, and the pastor was just like, do you have anything to say? He was like, no, I'm already checked out. I ain't got this. I'm done. The conversation is over. The pastor kept on talking. The pastor kept saying what he needed to say. And see, I'm like this. If you're going to be a friend in my circle, pastor, girlfriend, whatever, male friend, whatever, I want you to tell me the truth. And sometimes the truth hurts, but guess what? If you're my friend and you have my best interest in heart, you're going to tell me exactly what I probably don't want to hear, but what I should hear. And so I appreciate it. Y'all, I live in Baltimore, and they out there beating drums right now. So I'm sorry. At least they ain't beating on nobody. But anyway, so he was just so rude to the pastor. And the pastor, the pastor is a man. And I love that about you, black man. He kept saying what he needed to say to Chris. And the conversation was over when the pastor was done. And Chris had to sit through it, whether he was listening or not, with his rude behind. And so anyway, let's get back to, and you need to call your pastor and apologize. So let's get back to Paige and Mercedes. And they're sitting there, two queens in a room with a jerk. And Chris is sitting there, looking down, and I think in his mind, Chris is the kind of person, I think everything is a game with him. You know how these kids play these games online. I think life is a game to him. And I think in his mind, he sits there, he orchestrates stuff, and then he tries to figure out how it's going to work out and don't care who he hurt, but it's a game to him. And so he's sitting there, and Mercedes was started off by saying, listen, Paige, I don't have anything against you because I really don't know you. I have nothing against you. I'm sorry for what happened. And Paige was like, I know. She said, I don't have anything against you either. She was like, and she said, at this point in time, I'm just here, she said, but it's really nothing more that I need to say because this is over. Well, honey, Paige sat there. Paige was just cool and calculated. And Paige told her, look, so Paige is asking her, how are you doing? And she's telling Paige how she's doing. And Paige was like, yeah, I guess you were really surprised to know that he was getting married when you all were together about 7 weeks ago. And I love what Paige was doing. Paige wasn't asking the question. Paige was putting the information out there and just pulling this girl right in. And the girl is giving her all the information. And so y'all, hold on one second. My son is texting me. So the girl was like, so Paige said, yeah, and she said, I don't know if he told you, but yeah, at that point in time we weren't using protection. So I thought at one point I was pregnant too. I wasn't sure. That girl turned around and looked at Chris like, really? And so she asked Chris, did you know that? Did you know that it's a possibility that she could have been pregnant? He's like, yeah, I did know that. I knew that. I knew that. And she's like, wow. So she told Paige, she said, let me tell you one thing, Paige. She said, listen, because Paige said it was over with her and Chris. Hey, Van. Paige said it was over with her and Chris. She was like, I'm done. I wish you all well. Mercedes was like, let me tell you something. You ain't got to wish us well, because she said we're not together and I'm not going back with him. So Paige was thinking, they show her in the confessionals, and Paige is like, well, if they're not together, what was the divorce for? And then she just started laughing. She said, oh, he got played. He's the one that got played, because he probably never even asked Mercedes, would you like to get back together? He assumed. And you know what they say about people that assume, Chris? You assumed that Mercedes, because she's pregnant, was going to just take you back. And I think even if Mercedes wanted to take you back, Mercedes was looking deep into this picture right now. And she's looking at the fact that you had sex with her. Then you ran off and got married. She didn't know anything about it. She found out through social media. Then you're sleeping with Paige. You up there sleeping with Paige. No protection. Paige said y'all had sex the night you got married, which she was dumb because she didn't know you. And then she said y'all had sex all through the night into the next morning. And I think it was during the day. He was just having a good time. I wonder if he was taking Viagra or something. Because Chris was getting down. So then Paige says, no, but it's okay. It's okay. I got my period. It's okay. I'm good. I'm good. And Paige continued to run her mouth about Chris and his behavior and how he acted and how he treated her. And honey, Mercedes was like, I don't want nothing to do with her. And after a while, Mercedes and Paige got real comfortable having a conversation about Chris right in his face. And Chris jumps in. First, he was all, I got to go back and check and see if Chris had that suit on again, because I'm not sure. Because, he only got one suit, but he got all this money. So I got to go back and check. But he was sitting there looking down. And then after a while, you could see he was getting irritated, which is Chris. He was getting uncomfortable, which is Chris. And they just kept talking like he wasn't there. So he jumped in and said, if you want to say something about me, I'm sitting right here. You can talk to me. And Paige said, oh, okay. And she kept right on talking to Mercedes. She said, I was having a conversation with her, not you. He said, well, I'm just saying da-da-da. She said, oh, okay. And she kept talking to, I said, go ahead, Paige. Paige found her voice. Or either, like I told Paige a couple shows ago, you're not reading all of the scripture. You're just reading a part of the scripture, Paige. You got to go deeper. You got to go deeper in those scriptures. Because when you go deeper in those scriptures, they open your eyes up. So I think she must have took my advice, and she spent the episode and she just read the scriptures. And when she read those scriptures, it was like, boom, I'm going to let it all out. Paige, if you go back to Chris, but see, this is what I would do for the rest of the episode. This is me. I would mess with Chris probably the whole rest of the episode. You want to come back? And when he get there, I would have something for him. Because see, I know it's not right. It's not right, but that's what I would be playing with him because he thinks it's okay. And don't be sending me nothing like that ain't Christian and that. Just go with me for a minute. He thinks it's okay to manipulate people. He thinks that he's so handsome that he can do whatever he wants. Chris is 28 years old, so I really don't feel sorry for him. The thing that I feel bad about is that his mom and dad have allowed him to grow into the man that he is, and they didn't check him when he needed to be checked as a boy. So he's grown into a man, still acting like a boy, still doing childish things. And you want a wife, and now you got a baby on the way? Who want to take care of you? He is ridiculous. So, anyway, y'all, he's exhausting. Every time I do this Married at First Sight, Chris, you always just you just get me to the point where I just want to grab you because you do too much and you always showing off, and then because the plan didn't work, he wanted to come, and I'm telling you, y'all can say whatever y'all want. He put them together, not so they could come together and talk about what she's only known you a couple weeks. He brought them together so Paige could see this beautiful Mercedes. Now, Mercedes is a nice looking woman, but I've seen women that look better than her. She's a beautiful young lady. But I believe that he was trying to humiliate Paige by bringing her in the room. He's sitting over there on the sofa with Mercedes, sitting with her. You still married to Paige though, but he's sitting over there with Mercedes, and I think he had that suit on, but I can't remember. The one with the stripes in it. And he's sitting over there with Mercedes. And I think all of that was to make Paige feel bad. But Chris, it backfired. Oh, it backfired. You probably had fire under your shoes because I know you wanted to get up and run up out of there because those two ladies sat there and cut you up right in front of your face. And then the one that you said you were going back to, you're going to leave Paige and go back because you don't want nobody raising your child. And y'all talked about it on the phone. Evidently, I don't know who you were talking to, but you weren't talking to her because she acted like she didn't know anything about it and then said she had no intentions of going back with you. Boo. That's on you, bro. And so I was just like, man, that was a good ending, of the show because they saved them for last. And that just made my night when I watched it. So tonight, we're going to look at it tonight. We're going to see what's going on. We're going to see, I think that him and Paige meet up, and I think he starts saying something stupid like, I think I'm in love with you. Because here's the thing. Master manipulator, narcissist, and whatever else you want to call him. Now that he knows he can't get Mercedes, he's going to try to come back to you, Paige. Paige, get in those scriptures again tonight. Okay, I'm gonna have to put some scriptures in the comments for you. Get in the scriptures, read the scriptures, and understand that there's a scripture that says about the watch out for the roaring lion because he's walking around seeking whom he may devour. That's Chris. That's Chris. And Chris wants to devour you. Don't let him do it, Paige. You devour him though. You get him. You get him right. That's what I want you to do. That's your job. You only got one job, Paige. You better do it well. And your job for the next episodes is to get Chris right. Okay? All right, y'all. I'm done. Kevin Curry said, you don't have to cry no more, Paige. You really don't. And you got him good this last episode. Keep up the good work. Mercedes, I hope you meant what you said. Leave him alone. And then I was reading in one of the blogs that Mercedes is not pregnant. So I don't know. I got to go back and check. But leave him alone because he is a bum. And both of y'all need to watch because I told you his hairline is down here. And whenever those 3 little wrinkles come in right here, he's lying. He was lying sitting on the sofa, and Paige, he was lying when he called you on the phone. So anyway, listen, I'm out of here. I hope y'all have a good night. make sure you watch the show tonight because it should be very interesting. You know, and as Kevin Curry said,
do for others, serve others, rest in the Lord when it seems you can't take it. Live where you're celebrated, not tolerated. Give God your dreams, sweetie, you can make it. You can make it. You can make it.
All I ever wanted was to know who I was. To love, hesitant, come from above.
Take me there, Lord.
Wipe your tears. All she ever wanted to be was your love. All I ever wanted was to know who I was. To love, hesitant, come from above.
Take me there, Lord.
Wipe your tears away.
Lord, it's me standing on the side of the streets. Mama say, come to me. Give me some sugar kisses, no candy. It's invisible. It's time to say bye-bye. Holding on to mama in a trash bag full of clothes. Enough to make a grown man cry. Looking at the little boy inside. The angel of the Lord stood by my side. Whispered in my ear, son, don't cry. A mother to the motherless, a father to the fatherless. Jesus, that's no lie. Mama drove off. Man, time flies. Life's like a vapor. Next time I saw her, looked at my watch 13 years later. All is forgiven. Don't worry, mama. I found myself in the face of my Savior. My
All she ever wanted to be was love. All I ever wanted was to know who I was. To love, hesitant, come from above.
Take me there, Lord.
Wipe your tears. All she ever wanted to be was your love. All I ever wanted was to know who I was. To love, hesitant, come from above.
Take me there, Lord.
Wipe your tears away. Away.